We're a few minutes into the session. Stocks in the red. Let's get to some movers. Morgan Stanley off by about 2%. Topped estimates in its latest quarter, but saw net income applicable to Morgan Stanley fall 19% from a year ago. Investment banking activity continues to be constrained. Let's talk about some of the other numbers in here. The credit provisioning was interesting to me in particular. $234 million. That is a quadrupling, and it's related to commercial real estate and what's going on with the macroeconomic outlook. And, you know, commercial real estate, of course, has been a big concern for investors in the wake of the banking fallout from SVB. What would be the next thing? Right. Credit real estate portfolios perhaps stressed. Many big investment institutions have a bunch of CRE on their balance sheets. So it looks like Morgan Stanley is at least preparing for some of that to not turn out as they hoped.
Yeah, that's been a commonality that we've heard in terms of some of the credit provisioning that's taken place in this most recent quarter across the banks that have reported, whether they deal more with the consumer side of the banking or financial services industry, or whether they're more so even on the wealth management side or larger investment side as well. So that credit provisioning has been interesting to hear about, where across the board we've seen some increases in those provisions. It's interesting as well. Three major divisions that Morgan Stanley really has here: international securities, wealth management, and investment management as well. And 2 out of 3 of those actually saw year-over-year declines. Wealth management, though, that saw growth year-over-year. Net revenues is what I'm looking at there, and that actually moved higher, hit about 6.6 if you want to round up, $1 billion in the quarter there. And then additionally, they did note that they attracted some net new assets within wealth management of about $110 billion during the quarter, which is very significant.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, so there's so many parts in something like a Morgan Stanley that you don't really have one big takeaway, but investors are obviously doing a little bit of selling here today of the stock. So, you know, that's their judgment, I suppose.